From folklore and fairies
to monsters and mysteries, it came from the Maritimes.
Hi everyone, welcome to It Came From The Maritimes, an Atlantic Canada folklore podcast. I'm Chelsea and this is my co-host Evan.
Howdy.
We have a Maritime Mini for you today. With its vast coastline, Nova Scotia is known for its beaches. But did you know there's more to see along the seaside than ocean waves and sandy shores? Nova Scotia is known by geologists and paleontologists for the rare fossils found along its rocky coast. Now, this mini will by no means be all-inclusive, but I wanted to share a few of the more significant fossil findings we've had here in our home province. I would be remiss if I didn't mention the famous Joggins Fossil Cliffs, where tetrapods, which are kind of between amphibians and reptiles, have been found fossilized upright in trees, and evidence of the very first reptile was found. This species is actually considered the ancestor of all dinosaurs. One of my personal favorite prehistoric places to visit in Nova Scotia is Blue Beach in Kings County. Evan, have you ever visited this place?
I haven't, but I've been meaning to make my way over there.
It's very cool, and it's historically important as well. In 1841, Blue Beach was the site of the first evidence found of fossils showing vertebrate creatures, those with backbones, moving from the water onto land. The fossils found at Blue Beach are 350 million years old, from the Carboniferous era, a time when Nova Scotia would have had a tropical climate with swampy terrain. The fossils include animal and plant remnants and evidence of animal tracks. Their discovery helped fill a serious research gap, showing when animals began the process of becoming land-based creatures. Previous to these fossils being found, the date was thought to be 10 million years later than it actually was.
That's cool.
It is. So you can visit Blue Beach to look for fossils yourself, and during open hours, you can explore the collection of fossils in a small but fascinating museum. I've done this myself and would highly recommend it. It's a really cool spot, and the owner is very knowledgeable.
That's good to know. I think when I was looking at going there was like a lot of things, but then there was like, oh, come try to find fossils. And then I was like, oh, that is very aimed at children. So
fossils are for everyone.
Good to know, because the one I saw was like very aimed at children.
Oh no, it's fun for all ages.
Excellent.
So there is another Nova Scotia location known for a more recent impressive paleontology find. In January of last year, 2024, a unique 320 million year old fossil was found in Cape Breton. They found a series of large footprints and claw marks in Inverness County. The rock was determined to be from the Mississippian period, and based on the size and shape of the footprint, they believed it to be the fossil of an anthroposaur, a creature similar to a crocodile. This is an important finding because of the physical size of the fossil found. It's a block of sandstone 15 centimeters thick, 2 meters long, and 1 meter wide. It's proof that larger predators once called the area known as Nova Scotia home, whereas before we only had evidence of smaller creatures. So at the time of my research, I saw that there were plans to display it at the Cape Breton Fossil Center in Sydney Mines, so that would be very cool.
I'll need to check it out next time around there.
Absolutely. So fossils have been formally studied since the 18th century, when paleontology was established. But before then, fossils were considered a sinister discovery. People from the Middle Ages thought that fossils were a creation of a higher power, or remnants of ancient monsters, which is not completely untrue.
No, it kind of is.
So trilobites, which are now known to be hard-shelled arthropods, were thought by people in Wales to be butterflies petrified by the ancient magician Merlin.
I really love that.
Right? It's so specific.
They do not look anything like butterflies.
No, but they believed it. And ammonites, I apologize again if anything I pronounce is incorrect. A mollusk with a spiral shell were thought to be snake stones, which were considered the remnants of snakes, which were supposed to have been petrified by powerful religious figures dating back to 600 AD.
That's cool.
It is. And coral fossils, which are kind of speckly, were referred to as asteroids in the 1600s. And their pattern reminded scientists of constellations, so they suspected these were actually evidence of celestial formations on the Earth.
That's really interesting.
It is. So, is it possible that the early scientists were correct in their suspicions of fossils being the result of a magical event? And has modern science limited the scope of our view? Either way, fossils are fascinating, and the next time you're on the coast of Nova Scotia, take your time studying the stones. Most fossils are found by luck when people are exploring the shoreline, and maybe you'll be the next to discover a rare fossil in Atlantic Canada.
I wish.
Right? Thank you so much for joining us for this episode of It Came From The Maritimes. Find us on social media on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at It Came From The Maritimes, X and Blue Sky at ICFT Maritimes, and send us an email at itcamefromthemaritimes@gmail.com if you have any suggestions for future episodes or any spooky encounters of your own. If you like our podcast, leave us a 5-star review to help others find us. Thanks for listening.
Bye.